Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Swastika and today we would be discussing some of the current affairs. But before we do that, please press the subscribe button. That's the red button at the bottom, and please subscribe to my channel. Let's move on. So today we would be discussing the editorial on the op-ed from the Hindu, and this is brought to you by me. I have done my masters in political science from Jawaharlal Nehru University. I've done my BA honors in political science from Delhi University. And so let's begin. So in the editorial today, I think the most important article that I found was about India being given non-permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council, and this is by T.P. Srinivasan, who has served at the ambassadorial level at India's mission to UN in New York, Nairobi, and Vienna. He was also the head of the UN division in the Ministry of External Affairs. So the title of this article was In an Uncertain World, a Seat at the Global High Table. Counter-terrorism will be one of India's highest priorities as a non-member of the United Nations Security Council. So before I move on, let's talk a little about the structure of the UN and what is United Nations Security Council. So United Nations Security Council is one of the six principal organs of the United Nations. It is charged with ensuring international peace and security and recommending the admission of new UN members to the General Assembly and approving any changes to the UN Charter. So, the United Nations has six principal organs, and one of them is the Security Council. The others are Secretary General, Economic and Social Council, International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice. UN also has a lot of organs like United Nations Development Program, United Nations UNICEF, United Nations Environment Program. It also has specialized agencies like World Trade Organization, so on and so forth. So the Security Council, like the UN, was created after the end of World War II. It was created to address the feelings of the League of Nations. So the League of Nations basically failed, and in order to take care of its feelings, we put the Security Council in place. It held its first session on 17th January 1946. I think you should remember this because sometimes people in different papers ask you questions on when was the first session held. And it was held on in 17th January 1946. And in the ensuing decades was largely paralyzed by a Cold War between United States and the Soviet Union. So the Security Council consists of five permanent members who were basically the victors or their successor states of the World War II. The permanent members can veto any decision. So the five permanent members are China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Please keep in mind that the structure of the UN is very discriminatory. It was created back in 1945 and it's been like more than 7 decades from then, yet the structure of the UN is still discriminatory in the sense that it's giving the power of vetoing any major decision on the basis of a very discriminatory system of who was powerful and who was not. So, in international relations, we would see that politics of realism prevail more than anything. Within countries and within the borders of our countries, the domineering trend in international relations is the practice of democratic politics. However, when we look in the bigger arena, the politics of realism prevail, which are very discriminatory towards the countries of the third world, towards underdeveloped countries, and largely work by exploiting their labor. So it is important to keep in mind that the permanent members can veto any substantive resolution, including those on admission of new member state nominees for the office of Secretary General. The remaining 10 members are elected on a regional basis to serve a term of 2 years. So the remaining 10 members, they keep changing every 2 years from every region. a member is elected, and this keeps rotating. The body's presidency also rotates amongst its members. So why is this in news? This is in news because India, for the eighth time, is back in the UNSC as a non-permanent member for 2 year term. So this will basically amplify India's voice, and India should use this opportunity at the high table for its maximum benefit. India's position also on this table is welcomed because we have always had a very balanced perspective on things, which is interesting. So, how do regional seats get taken up? So, what happens in United Nations Security Council is that the non-permanent members are taken up on the basis of region. A vote is cast in the General Assembly, and it occurs in a secret ballot. So this and the seats are given based on region. So this time Afghanistan made space for India. Last time Kazakhstan made space for India. This time 184 out of 192 countries in the General Assembly voted for India. The bad thing is that there are still 8 countries out there who did not vote for us, which means that they have issues with us that haven't been brought into light. The other elected countries are Mexico, India, Norway, Ireland, and Kenya. So the highest priority for India at United Nations Security Council is going to be counter-terrorism. We have to take this up and we have to talk about this extensively. In the next 2 years, we have to put the idea of dealing with counterterrorism in South Asia forward, and this is the time that India can do it. Earlier, UN did not succeed in either defining terrorism or in adopting a comprehensive convention on international terrorism. So, this has to change, and India has to change it. So, when India became the non-permanent member of the UNSC, there was an idea put forward by a lot of people that, oh, so maybe we can become a permanent member too. Now that we have already become like non-permanent members. But guys, it's not that easy. India is not going to become a permanent member. That's very difficult. As I explained earlier, the system, the structure of UN is very discriminatory, and the politics of realism plays. So it is very unexpected for any expansion of seats to take place under the charter. We are not expecting this at all. So the bid for India's permanent membership is a long lost thought that should have happened, could have happened, but won't happen because of politics of realism and other things. So non-permanent members have a collective veto over every resolution of the council. So this is again something that India has to play in mind, and we have to play our cards well. Moving on. So in economics, there was this another article in the newspaper. I have already discussed this day before yesterday that there are 8 core sectors which have contracted for the third time in uh, in May by 23.4%. This is really bad because the steel sector is the worst hit by 48.4%, and the cement sector is the second worst hit by 22.2%, followed by crude oil, refinery products, so on and so forth. The coal production also fell by 14%. There has been a slack. The only silver lining is that the fertilizer industry has seen an increase by 7.5%. We may ask ourselves why. The answer to that is that because this year we had above average rainfall, and so the kharif sowing increased. Due to this, the fertilizer industry will witness an increase by 7.5%. So this was it. We just have to keep some of these facts in mind. Thank you so much for viewing it. Please like, subscribe, comment. That'll be nice. And if you want to pass on any suggestions, I am willing to take that up as well. So thank you.